But baby needs vapey, so the two get into a big fight over Chris's vape pen until they finally kiss it out like brothers.
What it is, guys? It's your boy BlastphamousHD, and today we are here to check out a video called simply Times When Lois Griffin Was a Terrible Mother. I used to date this one chick who was a terrible mother. I think that's where her child got it from, because her kid was bad. So bad he would break your stuff in front of you and then tell you that you did it. And if you didn't fall for that, he would run and cry to his mother, and that would always work. Let's do this.
These are 10 times Lois was a terrible mother. Starting with the time she got arrested after convincing Meg to flash everyone during her spring break in a fish out of water. Okay, so Meg's bummed that she has no plans for spring break, making her the lamest kid in school. Like she didn't already hold that title.
How about you and I have our own little spring break?
Spring break with your mom? I thought the goal was to not look lame. But whatever, Meg doesn't have any other options. So the girls pack up their stuff and hit the road.
See you in a few days.
Not if I strangle myself with a seaweed wrap and die.
That's the kind of adoring personality that probably left you with no plans to begin with, Meg. But not even a poop bath can lift her spirits. Yeah, I know it's mud, but mud is the poop of the earth. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Hey, how about some TV? This is MTV and we're rocking it spring break!
Is everyone but Meg partying it up right now?
For CNN, I'm Bernard Shaw. Keeping it real and kicking ass at spring break!
Imagine having less fun than CNN. Couldn't be me. Of course, Meg has to be a party pooper and makes them leave the spa early.
Look, I just want to go home and spend the next 3 days in solitary confinement where I belong.
Oh, what a tortured and misunderstood teen you are. And I can say that because I was the same way. Becoming an adult means looking back at your younger self and wanting to slap him upside the head at least 20 times. Luckily, Lois has different plans.
Mom, what the hell are we doing here?
This is where you wanted to be, right, honey?
Yeah, but not with you.
I don't know how to tell you this, Meg, but you're the embarrassing one here.
Like the kids say, up your nose with a rubber hose.
You could put $1 million on the line and I could not tell you what that means. Meg's still being a stick in the mud, but that's not gonna stop Lois.
I've been waiting out here for hours.
So?
I think Lois was supposed to be finding a way to get Meg into the bar. But you can't say no to dancing and beer pong, you know how it is. Well, I guess you don't know, Meg.
Oh, you know what? You need to learn how to loosen up a little, toots.
I kinda agree, but I would also be seething if I was left on the curb for hours. One validation point to Meg. Since Meg still seems dead set on being a bummer the whole trip, Lois forces her to live a little.
Lois, Lois, Lois,
Meg,
Meg.
Finally, she's learning to loosen up a little. Too loose.
All right, everybody, this party's over.
Thank God you guys got here. People were finally having fun. Looks like they'll be spending the rest of spring break in the slammer, but luckily Lois has a few tricks up her sleeve.
Now, Meg, if you're gonna grab a hold of life, you've gotta expect to get your hands dirty once in a while.
Now that's a mom. Who better to teach you how to break the law? Also, I don't think backseat doors in a police car open from the inside, but I'll let it slide. Though she made it right in the end, Lois did fumble a bit with abandoning Meg and pressuring her into getting a little too wild. This is pretty mild compared to what else she's done, but this was an early example of her crazy side, and I thought it was worth showing. And speaking of crazy, Lois had a full psychotic break leading to her getting a tranquilizer dart in the butt and a very special Family Guy freaking Christmas. So it's Christmas in Quahog, and Lois is really feeling the holiday spirit.
Every year I look up at that star and I think of all the joy and wonder that Christmas promises.
Like cold weather, consumerism, excessive drinking. Speaking of which...
Hey, I'm on vacation! Happy birthday, Jesus!
But the bigger problem is it's Christmas Eve and the family doesn't have a tree yet.
Well, if you get us a tree, I'll make sure Santa brings you a new VCR.
Oh boy, another old thing to explain. VCRs are like Blu-ray players, but older and even older than DVD players, which came before Blu-ray. Do you guys even know what DVD players are? Look, just go ask your parents.
Here's a tree. Merry Christmas to all, and to all shut the hell up.
But before Peter can relax, Lois still has more Christmas duties for him to do.
Just one more thing.
Lois?
I need you to take the presents out of the trunk.
Easy peasy, so why aren't you doing it?
I dropped them all off at Toys for Toddlers last night.
A sexy innuendo.
Peter, only one gift was for charity.
Well, some family's about to have a very nice Christmas. Isn't that what the holiday's all about? Then again, if my family ever did that, I'd be so unimaginably peeved that I would throw the tree in the fire.
You gave away all the presents?
Despite that purposefully misleading tone, Lois is actually pleasantly content with Peter's good deed. Even though it was done out of stupidity, she doesn't need to know that.
Well, I am a little irritated that I have to do all the shopping again, but at least some good came out of it.
Oh yeah, those mental cracks are forming as we speak.
Peter, I just want this family to have a perfect Christmas, and I need a little help, okay?
But while the family's out shopping, Brian has a little trouble at home with keeping the place from burning down. You'd think that'd be a pretty easy thing to do, but not in the Griffin house.
Damn it, Peter.
What's even the practicality of a toy like that? Are you ever using a fire extinguisher when lives aren't on the line? Thankfully, he finds a real one and turns the house into a winter wonderland. How festive of you, Brian.
Turkey.
Quick, try something else. Good idea. Maybe a commercial will come on explaining what to do. When the Griffins come home, they find their dinner and their home ruined.
What the hell did you do? Me? Who the hell buys a novelty fire extinguisher?
Before they can have it out, Lois jumps in and reminds them about the true spirit of the season, family.
Okay, so a couple of things have gone wrong, but we can still have a great Christmas.
Honestly, that's so inspiring. Lois always puts on a brave face when challenged. Despite everything, she kept her cool and never freaked.
We're out of paper towels.
No paper towels.
I mean, you could probably just use a rag or...
Shut your fat mouth.
Okay, jeez.
You can all ride a one-horse open sleigh to hell.
Honestly, it's hard to be mad. She lasted a lot longer than I would have. So Lois goes on a holly jolly rampage, pushing people off bridges and decapitating snowmen.
Merry Christmas.
Easy, lady. You want some of this?
Threatening to punch people is one of those old Christmas traditions I wish we'd bring back. But Lois won't rest until she's destroyed everything Christmas in town.
Must kill Star.
Luckily, the family arrives just in time to see her go
I don't remember any of this. This dude gonna have to cite his sources or something.
full King Kong on the town tree.
Hi, Lois. Hey, do we look like ants down here?
Bite me!
The only way to get through to her seems to be a message from Jesus himself, but he hasn't been introduced yet, so Stewie will have to do.
And so we unselfishly think of others, assured that our good behavior will be rewarded.
Stewie's speech actually seems to be getting through to her, but just to be safe.
Okay, boys, take it down.
Oh! Okay, boys, take her
And
down.
so Lois spends the holiday tranquilized, which all moms probably deserve to give them a break. Even still, her blaming the whole family for Christmas being ruined was pretty unfair, mostly because everyone was trying their best. But Lois is used to being unfair, like when she punished Chris and Stewie for vaping despite her own addiction problem and dead dog walking. So Chris is stuck babysitting Stewie but gets paged about a party that night.
You have a pager?
Yeah.
You get paged?
Yeah, that's how a pager works.
I'm not even old enough to fondly remember pagers. Yeah, they're that old. So the bros roll up to a high school rager filled with loud music, beer funnels, and drunk driving accidents.
I'm in firm belief that every parent follows the creed of do as I say, not as I do.
It's just waiting to happen.
Hey, Jagger, can you help out at the soup kitchen tomorrow at noon?
Sure, I should be alive then.
R.I.P. Jagger, we hardly knew ya. Stewie eventually comes across the hottest trend amongst the youths, vaping. Youths? Forget pagers, I sound like I'm old enough to remember carrier pigeons.
Smoking is for losers. Vaping is for douchebags.
Oh, I want to be a douchebag.
You'll get there one day, Stewie. It's in your family's blood after all. But that doesn't stop Stewie from taking his first hit. Looks like he's speedrunning how young he can develop lung cancer. But if you're gonna be a vaping douchebag, you'll need to be a discreet vaping douche, something Stewie has yet to master.
Stewie, if mom and dad see you with that thing, they'll kill me. Get rid of it.
No way, it's awesome.
But look at the cool smoke ring tricks or the fact that they're fruit flavored. Clearly these are for children.
This flavor is baby formula.
Ugh, that's disgusting. Can I get a hit of that?
Yummy.
But when Lois comes into Stewie's room to steal money, she catches Stewie with a vape in hand. I'm sorry, can we come back to the stealing money part?
I'd rather
You
baby
get this.
food than baby formula.
Lois Griffin, you get it in here!
Nope, just gonna move past it? Cool.
What is this?
robot penis?
Oh, well, that's perfectly fine to be in a baby's hands, isn't it?
You are too young to be
Maybe
doing
it
this,
is, and
and if
he's
that's
just
not
too
bad
dumb
enough,
to
you leave it
hide
out
it.
for Stewie to get his hands
I
on it.
don't.
Okay, but maybe let Stewie get a little puff before he starts tweaking. He really needs that thing they say is non-addictive.
She has my vaporizer. You have to get it back.
That's your problem.
But baby needs vapey, so the two get into a big fight over Chris's vape pen until they finally kiss it out like brothers. I knew getting the vape juice that turns you gay would have this effect.
It's possible we've taken this too far.
I'll just go down and get yours back.
So Chris interrupts Lois's lawn watering to try to explain himself, but he takes a bit too long.
Greg?
Oh, damn it, Chris. Why do your lies have to take so damn long?
Yeah, kinda hard to be on the moral high ground when you're sneaking cigarettes. Vaping's bad, but
Why do
cigarettes
your
are
lies have
much
to take
worse.
so long?
But dang, does someone look infinitely cooler while holding a cigarette. You get 1 point, Cancer Sticks.
Vaping is just as bad, and you look like a douchebag.
No, I don't. I look cool.
Care to put that to the
it's
test?
the same thing.
Oh my god, I'm a douchebag!
Well, at least his secret is safe with her and her 7 Instagram followers. Lois is in the right to try to stop her children from developing bad habits, but as a mother, she should still be trying to lead by example. But she doesn't think so, proven so when she forced her kids to go to a Christian camp and catfight. So Lois is worried about Meg and Chris's behavior after they get caught cheating at school and decides to teach them some morals.
Now with the kids showing a complete lack of morals, well, we may all need to go to Christian family camp.
Oh boy, nothing sells you on a religion like an overly preppy summer camp. So Lois and the kids arrive at Sunrise Woods Bible Camp. Hopefully no relation to James Woods. Becoming a born-again Christian didn't exactly turn out too well for him last time.
Why are all these trees bunched together?
Those are woods, Chris.
Don't mind him, he's still getting used to seeing something that doesn't have 4 walls. The camp seems okay for the most part. Painting Jesus seems fun enough. That is, if you don't have a stickler breathing down your neck.
A little dark on the hair there. Let's lighten it up. Lighten it up. Eyes should be blue.
It's called Expressionism? God, read an art book sometime, lady.
I'd like to move on to having you all sign your contracts with God.
Is this like a prenup thing? Does that mean if I outlive him, I inherit the earth? I think I could do it. I'm feeling nice and spry. Ah, my back.
It's a written commitment to forego all alcohol, drugs, and self-pleasure.
Give up all that to have a relationship with the creator of all we know? I don't know, I think I like beer too much. Anyways, who's up for some fully clothed swimming? Or as the Christians call it, baptism.
Chris, stop relieving yourself. You've got those pea eyes.
Oh, he's gonna regret that.
Brother Chris.
Do it again.
Okay, I'm convinced. Chris absolutely needs some Jesus. But after that, it looks like even Lois has had enough.
Everyone clear on the plan?
Yep, Meg and I switch faces like in the movie Face Off.
No.
Oh.
Actually, the plan is a little bit of prayer and a little bit of Grand Theft Auto.
I wonder if I could perhaps say grace tonight.
Oh, that'd be lovely, Lois.
While everyone else is talking to God, Lois is shaming him by stealing the camp counselor's car keys.
And the first one to open their eyes is gay.
So that's how that works. Lois is relieved to leave that camp behind. It was your idea from the start, but whatever.
It seemed like Chris enjoyed himself there.
Well, Meg, you know Chris is a little bit dumb.
Okay, you don't really need to dunk on your son like that.
So religion isn't gonna be for people like you and me. It's basically for stupid people like Chris.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You were the one who wanted to instill good Christian morals in your kids, but you don't even believe in any of that stuff?
You're a monster.
Yeah, no kidding. It's one thing to not believe in a religion, but to push it on your children while you don't really believe in it because you think they're stupid is incredibly crappy. Especially considering everyone in the family has met Jesus multiple times. Heck, Lois even almost slept with him. But when she's not manipulating her kids, she's literally abandoning them, like when she and Peter ditched them to live lives as millennial parents. So while at a preschool parent-teacher night, Peter and Lois accidentally get mistaken for young parents.
Yeah, new parents like us have to stick together.
Yes, we do, because we're very young.
Something tells me this simple compliment is going to be a whole new personality for them, huh?
This is our chance to break away from the Joes and Bonnies of the world.
Geez, what did they ever do to you? Surely they're less volatile than the Peter and Loises of the world. So the two old heads try their hand at hanging out with the younger couple, and Peter wants to keep the night going.
Well, I got an idea. You mind if I use your bathroom to do number 2?
Easy, Peter. Can't get too crazy on a work night. Soon you'll be asking to go number 3. Lois is blown away by the life of renting a halfway decent apartment.
Well, there's an open unit if you guys are interested.
Well, they don't really...
Hello? Goddamn Nuke's top 5 videos.
really make 4-bedroom apartments. Sorry, Chris and Meg, sounds like you're not making the cut. So they stock the fridge full of food and make up some story about a dying uncle, grandpa, or whatever.
Uncle? I thought you said
Helicopter parents, let's go, Lois.
So that's what a helicopter parent means. Sounds awesome, I want to be one. The parents move in and immediately adapt to their new millennial lifestyle.
This is it, Peter. We're gonna vape.
Well, she was quick to forget that vaping makes you look like a douche. Do we have to bring up the picture of Chris again? Meanwhile, back at home, all the food has either been eaten or had Chris's privates put in it.
Man, this broom handle poke tapioca is delicious.
Chris had sex with that.
The parents are gone for only a few days, and already Chris is poking his broom handle where it doesn't belong. Won't be too long before the house becomes pregnant. But the parents' paradise is soon to be upended when a new young couple moves in. Well, it should be easy for them to pretend to be a couple with all the practice kissing they do.
I'm Dylan, and this is my wife, Dylan.
Oh, same name couple, that's the dream.
Actually, the dream is to find someone with the same last name so you don't have to pay to change it. Just, maybe check out both family trees before you make any moves.
What the hell do you guys think you're doing?
I could ask you the same question, and I shall. What the hell do you guys think you're doing?
I'll tell you what we're doing. Having fun for the first time in our lives.
But that doesn't mean Chris and Meg aren't going to try to expose them first.
We should take a photo. Lois, why don't you take a photo and airdrop it to us?
I think if you ask her to put her phone on dark mode, she might break down crying. Personally, I would like to see that.
What do you say we all go to Coachella with a Q, Quahog's 3-day music festival?
Music festivals are a great way to weed out older people. I should know, I hate them with a passion. Also, 3 days? Don't these millennials have jobs or kids?
Thought you kids didn't take naps. Now you're all just sleeping at the bottom of the pool. Oh my god!
Well, I guess had kids is the more apt term. But it looks like the multi-mile walk to the front gate is already too much for the geezers to handle.
What's wrong? Are you guys not super amped?
No, we're old. We hate this.
Honestly, me too. I don't know, I'm looking forward to being middle-aged and having everything confuse me to the point where I get unnecessarily angry.
Can you guys at least Venmo us for the tickets?
I don't know what that is.
See? Like that. I get wanting to feel younger, but abandoning your kids to go live in a millennial apartment complex feels like a bit of a shark jump. Sure, Peter was along for the ride, but it really felt like Lois was spearheading this whole operation. And judging by how she's acting, I wouldn't say this made her all that regretful of leaving behind Chris and Meg. But she should have left the kids behind when she decided to climb Mount Everest, a decision that nearly got the family killed and ended in cannibalism in the episode Into Fat Air. So the Griffins are having dinner at Lois's ex-boyfriend Ross's house, and Peter is as excited as you may have guessed.
That's it, Fishman. Shirts off. I want to see who's got bigger pecs.
Dang, I didn't know Peter was packing a couple of hams under there. There's definitely enough food to go around now.
Well, this year is perhaps our biggest trip ever. We're climbing Mount Everest.
Oh, that mountain a lot of people die on? Yeah, have fun with that.
Well, so are we.
We are?
Well, sounds like the mountain just earned itself 6 new bodies. But that post-dinner clarity kicks in, and Peter immediately walks back his idea.
I know we can't climb Mount Everest. It just, that guy really got to me, and I wanted to stick it to him.
You could try sticking it to him by just being a big, happy family, but honestly, that might be harder than climbing Everest.
I think we should do it.
What?
Lois, you can't be serious.
Oh, but she is serious. She wants to do something the whole family can be proud of. How about something easy, like a puzzle first, then you try your hand at the tallest mountain in the world. When they make it to the base camp in Nepal, the family is awestruck by the mountainous size of the mountain.
Wow, look who's here. I didn't believe you'd actually follow through with this.
Joke's on you, neither did they.
In fact, not only are we gonna climb it, we are gonna beat you guys to the top.
Bold claim from someone who just decided last week to do a hike that takes 8 to 9 months of training. As they climb, they come upon a ladder across a chasm, which is the universal sign for a guy like me to turn back now.
Guys, be sure to look down the whole time. It's really deep and freaky and disorienting.
And luckily, someone was kind enough to leave a bunch of dead bodies to break his fall. The Griffins actually make it ahead of the Fishmans, which is a victory in and of itself, but Lois wants to keep moving.
You guys, we can do this. We can beat them.
Despite objections from the kids, Lois makes them push on, and they actually make it to the top. The beauty, the majesty,
That part just now of them walking over that stepladder gave me really bad goosebumps and completely activated my fear of heights.
Big middle finger to the Fishmans. It's perfect.
Well, look who finally got here.
Well, this was only worth it to beat them, so this has been a huge waste of time. At least the hard part's over.
You might want to take a look at those storm clouds.
And turn. There's God telling you to get off his lawn. So as they make their way down through the blizzard, they spot someone off in the distance.
I think it's a person.
Oh my god, maybe they have food.
Well, it could be food, depending on where your morals lie.
Oh my god, it's Ben Fishman!
Look, far be it from me to tell them what to do. Actually, no it isn't. Eat him.
Look, if we don't eat something soon, we're all gonna pass out from exhaustion and freeze to death just like him.
I think Brian just really wanted to eat someone and now he has his chance. And humans are high in protein. Don't ask me how I know, you already know you won't like the answer. But of course, things get awkward when they pass the rest of the Fishmans while heading down.
Have you seen Ben? We lost him in the storm.
Look, all I'm saying is one family didn't lose a child on the hike, so I think they technically won. But when the Griffins finally make it to the bottom, Lois suggests they go back up to rescue the Fishmans.
We do the right thing. We go back up there and save them.
And they end up doing just that. Maybe Lois is right. Maybe the Griffins are good people.
You're a good man.
All right, you rest up. Get better. We ate your son. Bring it up!
Yeah, suck it, Fishmans. Normally Lois is the voice of reason, but she's still capable of putting her family in dangerous situations where they're only saved by luck. Definitely don't think babies should be making that kind of trek, that's for sure. But Lois went from climbing a physical mountain to an emotional one when she finally got the verbal beatdown of a lifetime from Meg in Seahorse Seashell Party. So the Griffins are trapped inside during a hurricane, which is actually part of a TV stunt that also had an episode of The Cleveland Show and American Dad revolving around a hurricane. I have no clue if this led to more people tuning in. Cable TV is always up to some shenanigans.
Yeah, this sucks. What are we supposed to do all day?
I don't know, start eating each other? Who knows how long this storm will last, but I want to see some action.
Well, how about we play charades?
That game might be a little too sophisticated and complex for Peter, Lois.
Fletch.
Is it Fletch?
It is Fletch.
Riveting. Any other good ideas?
How about you all sit there quietly while I make dad noises?
Yeah, I'd rather find the nearest sharp corner and bash my head into it.
So what do you guys want to do now?
Oh, hey, I know. Let's play finger bang.
What?
Bang, bang! I'm gonna finger bang you, Chris!
Oh, that's what you meant. There's gotta be a better name for this game. But of course, the real issue is that Meg wants to play too.
Why don't you just go do that to yourself, Meg?
Oh, come on, Lois. Finger banging is something the whole family can get in on. Yeah, nope, I don't like saying that.
Oh, hey, I got an idea. Let's have a sing-along.
I'll spare you a listen because Peter just hums the theme song from Indiana Jones for almost an entire minute. Thanks for stepping in, Meg.
Damn it, Meg, will you stop that? That is so annoying.
Oh, that was annoying?
When Meg calls Peter out for his obnoxious humming, Lois of course has to come to his defense.
Meg, don't talk to your father like that.
Well, you better get out the boxing gloves then, because Meg's ready to start throwing down and she's taking no prisoners.
What if I started calling you a fat, zitty loser who has no friends and smells like an old woman who has birds for pets?
Before she can continue, Lois attempts to undermine Meg's frustrations like a good mother.
All right, Meg, that's enough. You've had your little dramatic outburst.
I don't know how you can expect Meg to have any kind of respect for the family with a response like that. Luckily, Meg is smart enough to see through Lois's emotional manipulation.
Meg seems to think she's taking some kind of stand here that's gonna make us all feel like we're inadequate.
My God, you're condescending!
Lois thinks Meg is just taking her problems out on everyone else. Yeah, she should, especially with such a hypocritical mother like Lois.
Is this coming from my role model mother? The shoplifter, the drug addict, the porn star?
So Lois continues to dodge blame by saying nobody's perfect. That's true, but not even admitting to the unfair treatment of Meg puts her in a class even below imperfect.
You're my mother, and you took a child's trust and smashed it into bits.
The truth hurts, and it looks like the only way to inject Lois with a bit of self-realization.
I'm so sorry, Meg. Can you ever forgive me?
I don't want to say it feels great to see Lois torn down like this, but Meg gets so few victories that you can't help but feel some pride in her. Meg's verbal attacks on everyone cause the family to turn on one another, but their reactions actually make Meg feel bad.
Do you think it's possible that this family can't survive without some sort of lightning rod to absorb all the dysfunction?
I don't know, kind of sounds like a them problem to me. Like, they haven't made any mention of trying to change, they just want to feel bad about being called out on their BS.
Yeah,
Classic emotional manipulation technique. Thanks, one class of community college psychology.
You guys, I have something to say. You're right. It's all my fault.
If the family had any semblance of self-awareness, they would know that's not true and apologize to Meg.
Meg, how could you put us all through that?
But of course they don't. Even though Lois admits to her wrongdoings against Meg, by the end she seems to walk all of that back. And so her mistreatment of Meg continues because it's her destiny. What a happy ending. But Lois managed to drive away more than just Meg when she decluttered the house, kicking out every family member and throw it away. So Lois drags Peter to a taping of Joyce Kinney's show, The Flow. I guess she forgave her for exposing she was in an adult film in college. Anyway, they hear about Trisha Takanawa's new book focusing on the art of decluttering.
I thought that was Ellen DeGeneres.
People people nowadays own too much stuff. I am encouraging them to throw it away.
This sounds like a fun experiment for Lois to try. What else is a bored housewife gonna do all day anyway, right?
I have to buy this book, read 2 chapters, then leave it on my nightstand for a year.
Whew, glad I'm not the only one. I'll finish all those books I bought years ago one day, just not right now, you know? I'm busy. So Lois immediately begins to start sorting through everything they own.
She says that when you declutter your house, you declutter your mind and clear a path to true happiness.
If a clear path was all I needed for happiness, then I wouldn't be getting ripped off by my therapist each week.
So I want everyone to go through every single item you own, and if it doesn't kindle joy, throw it away.
Question, if I throw my taxes out because they don't kindle joy, am I still liable? But it doesn't seem like everyone understood the assignment.
Peter, there's nothing in your throwaway pile.
I know. I'm keeping everything. Everything kindles joy.
Doesn't the childlike wonderment of a 40-something-year-old man just warm your heart? So the house is starting to look quite barren, but Lois seems pretty happy with herself. Peter, too.
So good to be home.
Since when do you surf?
Seriously, Lois? That's like his defining trait. Why do you think his favorite song is called Surfin' Bird? Sure as heck ain't TV Bird or Drinking Yourself to an Early Grave Bird.
Peter, you don't kindle joy.
What?
Sorry, Peter, but this book she read a day ago is her new Bible, and if something doesn't spark joy...
Peter, I don't think I can have you in the house right now.
With Peter out of the house, Lois continues to go overboard, throwing out Chris and Meg's hat and Brian's food. Even her cutaways are getting decluttered.
Donald Trump's hair is unusual.
This must be what changes the cutaways to what we see in that one future episode. She even goes throw away Stewie's time machine. That thing's huge and is always just in his room. How is she just now seeing this?
But don't drag that down the stairs, alright?
Clearly, Lois is going a bit overboard, causing her to lash out at her kids.
Shut up, Meg.
Well, I didn't say anything.
You just did. Your voice, it's cluttering up my space. Get out.
Maybe the voice of reason can talk some sense into her.
You know, Lois, one could argue that your bra is clutter.
Nice try, dirtbag. Leave.
Well, it was worth a shot. With that pesky family out of the way, Lois has finally achieved her dream, which I guess is living inside of a black and white 80s comic strip.
I made order out of chaos, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, but something tells me there's something deeper here you aren't addressing.
Simplicity is good for the soul. Your soul is as empty as this house.
So yeah, driving away all the people and things she loved left her feeling empty inside. Now, who could have seen that coming?
Looks like there's only one thing left to get rid of.
But somehow her family figures out exactly where she's going.
We cut a whole scene where we figured it out. You gotta just trust me.
Easy enough for me, just means fewer scenes to cover. Anyway, they find Lois on a very rickety bridge over a rushing river. Quick, run as fast and as hard as you can, making sure to swing the bridge as much as possible.
Oh, Peter! Don't come any closer!
Come closer, even harder and faster? You got it. Well, she had a good run, except for all the craziness from this episode, and I guess all the moments from the rest of the video. And garbage saves the day. I didn't think being surrounded by so much trash would be what Lois needed to realize she loves her life, but hey, doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. Still, her berating and kicking her entire family out of the house definitely sounds like she should not be the one making any more big life decisions. But she and Peter decided to turn Stewie into a child actor, a decision that saw them intoxicate a baby for better performances in The Peanut Butter Kid. So it's bank statement day at the Griffins, and everyone needs to pray that they're in the green.
Hey, God, it's the Griffins. Again, we're very sorry we cyberbullied that girl to death.
Actually, God should probably just smite all of you right now instead.
Damn it, it didn't work. We're still poor.
But while those poor suckers are at the mall, they run across their potential salvation.
We saw an ad looking for a toddler to appear in a peanut butter commercial, and we thought we'd bring Susie.
A toddler? The Griffins have one of those, and at least 2 others with the brain of a toddler. But Stewie's more interested in mocking Brian than winning.
I'm Brian. I like garbage peanut butter, and I wear my I voted sticker for a week and a half.
By God, this kid has the stuff. The spunk, the sauce, the other words.
Congratulations, your son is the new Peanut Butter Kid.
Good, he can replace that other peanut butter kid. He was a hack anyway. So Stewie's commercial airs and it's an instant hit.
Scooters peanut butter. So good, your baby will want to eat it in an airport terminal bathroom.
Also, is it just me or does that logo looks kinda like, I'm not gonna say it, but you know.
Wow, I can't believe Stewie's a commercial star.
I don't know.
But what's even more unbelievable is the money that little spot pulls in.
It's a royalty check from Stewie's commercial.
Apparently he gets paid every time it airs.
Yeah, ad revenue is where it's at. Speaking of which, you don't have ad block on, do you?
Now, Stewie actually got a call for another commercial tomorrow. Who knows? This could be the beginning of a nice career for him.
I'm not entirely sure I'd call the world of child acting nice. Just ask Jake Lloyd. Unfortunately, this audition doesn't go nearly as smoothly as the last one.
You, do something exceptional.
Okay.
They aren't buying the robots, Stewie. Give them the old razzle-dazzle.
Ow! Ow! Oh, my grundle! It's bruised!
Work. Time for some 3 a.m. dance rehearsals.
Do you get pleasure out of humiliating your family?
Yeah, is there some kind of sick joy in it?
And to top off the child abuse, how about a little dash of narcotics to give Stewie some extra energy?
Stewie, if you're fine with it, bleed from the nose.
Forgot that you're just a baby.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby did it.
Yeah, they should at least be 5 before you turn them on to narcotics. So technically this is a Peter and Lois terrible moment, but I think it's even more shocking to see from Lois. This is just another Tuesday for Peter. But Lois is the only one to blame when she got addicted to painkillers and nearly drowned Stewie in prescription heroin. So Brian mistakes Joe for the delivery guy and falls down the stairs like an absolute fool.
Oh, crap. I can't remember if doggy arms are supposed to bend that way.
We can't see them, but I think it's a safe bet to guess that no, they probably aren't. Yep, it's broken. Luckily, Brian's been prescribed some sweet, sweet painkillers.
Oh, yeah.
How does it feel?
Oh, yeah.
The Hoyas have kicked in. Brian's on a whole other planet now.
Huh, I wanna yeah.
So Lois tries half a pill and she's immediately transported to her fantasy.
Chris Daughtry?
That's right, Lois.
Can't really say this is selling me on painkillers. I don't want to be floating around the head of a guy I used to listen to in middle school. But Lois is loving it, spending the day highly folding everything in sight, even the fabric of time and space.
You know, if it's good with water, it'd be even better with wine.
But before she can make 2 good things become a negative, Brian finishes the last pill himself.
Brian, was that the last pill?
Yes. But that's fine, because my arm's all better.
Yeah, but now you have a tweaker housewife on your hands. It's the 1950s all over again. Getting desperate, Lois scavenges the house looking for a loose pill.
Alright, let's see. Here it is.
But if you're that desperate, maybe don't try to throw it in your mouth like a cartoon character. I mean, you are a cartoon character, but you know what I mean.
Oh my god, that's the last pill.
But you'd need tiny baby hands to reach it. Hey, Stewie's a baby, and last I checked, he had hands.
Ah, damn you!
Thankfully, Brian intervenes before Lois has a full-on postpartum moment.
I just wanted the pill.
Bad Lois, get in your crate.
Let me out of here, Brian.
So it looks like Lois is going cold turkey off the pills, causing her to live out her worst nightmare.
All of these coupons are expired.
I don't know, if that's your worst nightmare, you might need some help that no pill can fix.
Lois, you stand on trial for drug use prompted by mom-related boredom.
And the lesser crime of trying to kill your baby, I guess.
Guilty.
But it's all in her head, and when morning comes, she's all better. Now she can just get addicted to coffee like the rest of us. Still think she should get jail time for that toilet stunt, though.
And hot Cheetos. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, and/or subscribe. It's your boy BlastphamousHD. Twizzlers.